and you get into broadcasting, was that something that you always had your mindset on post playing career?
Yeah, because when I was playing, I got a chance to do it.
Oh, okay,
so
that's
in
cool.
'95, I'm with the Sacramento Kings, and it's the first half of the year. I think it may have been. It was probably January because I didn't have a lot of time to prep, and the All-Star is always like in mid-February. And they call the league office, this television station from overseas, calls this league off the NBA office in New York and says, "Hey, any of the players in the NBA speak Arabic?" And they're like, "We got one
guy, yeah."
You know?
And I was gonna say, could be many more than one.
Exactly. So I got the call, and the call was, "Hey, listen, we're going to be covering the NBA All-Star Weekend in Phoenix. Would you like to come down and be our second guy, not the host, but the sideline guy, the sidekick?" And I, absolutely. Do you know anything about TV? No.
Nope.
Would you be interested in learning? Absolutely. I said, as long as you guys have patience with me, I'll have patience with you guys, and we'll get through this, I fly down to Phoenix, All-Star games on Sunday, so I probably flew down Wednesday, and it was an Arabic company called Orbit, and they were all coming from Rome, Italy. And everybody made it over except for the host.
Oh, no.
Who was supposed to do all the talking. Right? So
of
now,
course.
Hey, forget about what you have.
Just kidding. You got to do everything.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Instead of just being the sidekick and occasionally dropping in something, you got to carry it all now.
In Arabic, mind you.
In Arabic, mind you. Yes. So I just remember I had to interview Principal, was it Belding from Saved by the Bell? It's a TV show. Remember?
Yeah, it's a little before me, man. It's a little before me.
But anyway, Saved by the Bell was a show. Principal, I never watched the show. I don't know who he was, but they're saying it's a popular show. You got to interview this guy.
Yeah.
I interviewed Cal Ripken.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and it was during that time when he was going for the record. Mm-hmm. So I remember going up to him and asking him, "Hey, would you mind sitting down with me?" First of all, he knew who I was, which was a trip.
Yeah.
Then he said, "Absolutely. Let's just not talk about the streak." I was like, "No problem. I don't care about the streak. We're going to talk about other things." You know what I mean? So we talked about. He sat with me for like an hour.
Oh, that's cool.
Which he didn't do anywhere near that with anybody else there. So that was good. But I was really bad, Andre. I was sitting out there in the middle of like a court outside, sweating my tail off. The flop sweat you get when you're nervous, trying to.
The
Phoenix Heat, man, and it is coming down. But here's why they called me back, because I know I was terrible. Because they get the reels nightly, and I know they're watching back in Rome. Go, this kid's useless. But what helped was. I was able to get all 24, 25 All-Stars, how many were there at the time, one by one to go up, introduce themselves and say, "Hi, I'm David Robinson and you're watching Orbit TV. Hi, I'm Michael Jordan. You're watching, Orbit TV." I got every one of them to say that. And that's what made them hire me back.
Yeah.
And then I got better.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
They showed some patience with me and they worked with me. And it mattered to me, so I wanted to improve.
Yeah.
And for a long time, from 95 to let's say 2004, I was doing it all in Arabic and occasionally sending like a reel over to America. But the problem is, when a person who's hiring here would get it and he'd read it and look at it, he don't understand.
Yeah, I don't know if you're saying something good, bad, or what.
Exactly. You don't know anything. It's hard to tell.
Yeah.
So it was hard to kind of break in here and do it in English. And then finally I got my break in 2006, 2007 with the NBA, because I live here in northern New Jersey, and the NBA Entertainment's headquarters were 6 miles away. Mm-hmm. They've since moved down to Atlanta, but that's where they were. So for me, it was real convenient. And again, they put me on the first time. I was doing EuroLeague basketball. Mm-hmm. Because having played there, I could pronounce the European teams properly. So instead of saying like Panathinaikos, I could say Panathinaikos, and I could say Olympiakos. And, And so that was my in. I was still awful. I was still sweaty. You know what I mean? I was still stuttering. But that goes away after time. They kept hanging in there with me. And they started giving me more and more work. By the end, like within 2 years of working for them, I had my own radio show. I was doing the EuroLeague Game of the Week. And then they put me on the NBA set, and I got to start talking about the NBA games, which is like the highest thing to do there. Yeah. So I progressed. And I got the bug after that. And I just, once the wheels started going, I'm like, I'm not bad at this, and I want to get better at it. And I think there's room for improvement. And it's kind of fun too. Yeah. Because it keeps you around the game. Right. You and I are sitting at home watching these games anyway.
Yeah, may as well get paid to talk about it.
Yeah, man. I remember Charles Barkley told me, it was a great quote, man. It's actually like on my Twitter thing. Got paid to play, now I get paid to watch. Yeah. Can you have it any better than that? I mean,
that's a good deal.
I'm a lucky dude, man. Yeah. I put in the work, but I'm a lucky dude. Lucky dude.
So eventually you made your way up to Philly now, doing Philly games. Being a big yourself, how much fun is it watching Joel every night?
Well, that's what was great about when I got hired. Yeah, he hadn't even played yet. He was still injured back in 2015. So he was still coming off of that foot injury. But like I had watched him in college because my previous job for CBS was covering college. And that year was with him and Wiggins in Kansas.
Oh, yeah.
He had been hurt, so Joel missed some games. But the games I did see, it's like, man, if this kid is even half as good as I think he's going to be, we're going to be just fine watching him play. And then to see his progression, dude's bad, man. Yeah. He's a bad dude.
Yeah. And he's getting better.
He's getting better, man. And he looks like he's more serious this year. He looks like he's in better shape. The dude just looks like he's on a mission. So for me to be around that, when the rest of the league is firing up threes and got 5 stars out there, man. You know what I mean? Like, I feel blessed, man. I don't have to watch that crap for 82 games a year.
Yeah. Y'all get a couple post-ups a game, man.
We have the most post-ups in the league.
It's not a whole lot of teams doing post-ups nowadays.
Nope.
Who else just got out there this year? Fellow Dookie, Steph Curry, even holding it down for him up there?
Absolutely. Well, the thing is, man, and this is what breaks my heart, is because of COVID, we can't come close to him.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So through his dad, like I'm trying to get his number so I could just text him just to let him know. Because I know, like when he had the COVID, he was at home, he was watching. Yeah. So he's hearing the commentary. He knows who I am, and he knows I'm one of the brotherhood too. I just wanted him to know that, I'm rooting for him, and if there's anything he ever needed, but they've separated us. So all I can do is like wave from, section 120. You know what I mean? Because it is what it is right now. But I'm anxious, man, that when everything hopefully gets back to normal sooner rather than later, that, because the cool thing is, CBS back in the day used to cover the D League, now the G League. So I've been out to Santa Cruz many times to watch him play because they thought at the time that there was going to be the pipeline to get him to go to the Warriors and play with his brother, but he took a different path. But Nate Bjorkgren, who was the Indiana coach last night, he was the head coach at Santa Cruz. So the worlds, our worlds, they're small.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So on your off nights when you're not doing Philly games, are there certain guys or certain teams that you're like, oh, they're playing tonight, I got to check them out?
LeBron, just because you don't want to miss anything he does. Luka, is another one that you don't want to miss what my man is doing. I'm trying to think if there's anybody else that really jumps out at me. Man, I'm curious about the Nets. Living up here, so I get to watch all their games. They're my local TV, team, and so I'm curious to see how that experiment works because they ain't playing. They are not trying to play no defense.
No,
very
little.
They don't have anybody. They don't have anybody to play defense with, especially they got rid of Jared Allen, so now there's nobody inside to protect the rim. So they're just trying to outscore people. And you and I come from a world where we don't have that approach. You gotta mix in some stops, my man. You gotta mix in some stops.
For sure.
And so I'm curious to see how that experiment, pans out.
Yeah, that'll be interesting, especially come playoff time, because the defense definitely ratchets up a little bit come playoff time, and
what happens when
you got to be able to
shots
get a
aren't
couple
falling?
stops. Yeah,
Yeah, when your shots aren't falling, what are you gonna do?
absolutely.